Welcome to the latest edition of Say What? I'm your host, Laura Thornquist, and I have with me our content director, Julie Williams. As always, we're so happy that you joined us today as we're discussing some interesting and even weird facts, not only about electricity, but also about our world. For example, did you know the world's total population is more than 7.5 billion people? Obviously, that number sounds huge, right? However, it might feel a little more manageable once you learn that if every single one of those people stood shoulder to shoulder, they could all fit within 500 miles of Los Angeles. That's according to National Geographic. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of population, Ecology Global Network reports that every second we welcome 4 new babies into our overall population. Do a little math and you'll find out that means there are approximately 250 births each minute, 15,000 each hour, 360,000 each day, and in a full year, there are around 131.4 million babies born on Earth.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of crying going on.
Yeah, that's a lot of screaming.
Sticking on the baby theme, did you know that babies grow mustaches in the womb and then they eat them? Yep. During the second trimester of pregnancy, you okay, Julie? All babies, boys and girls, boys and girls both, they grow fine hair on their upper lips. I still have hair on my upper lip, just saying. But it also spreads to the rest of their bodies. Now, in most cases, this hair, it's called lanugo. It falls out before the baby is born, and then it's reabsorbed or eaten by the baby in the womb. Oops, sorry. This becomes part of the first bowel movement called meconium. Have fun with that one.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
In the 1840s, a big, dare we say, cheesy grin was seen as childish.
Sorry.
So one London photographer would tell people to say prunes to keep their mouths taut.
Prunes.
And that look predated today's
Prunes.
fish face selfie by, 180 years or so. Incidentally, he was also the first person who invented the selfie.
You know, my daughters told me never do a fish face again.
Yeah,
It's not very becoming.
It's not
of me.
pretty.
No.
I don't understand why people would want to do that.
The fish face?
Yes.
Well, it looks great on a 14-year-old, not on a
I
52-year-old, just saying. All right, moving on. In the 1880s, businessman LaMarcus Thompson disliked that Americans were tempted by thrill-seeking places like saloons and brothels. So he set out to straighten up one of the most thrilling places that he could think of, Coney Island in New York. Isn't that cool? There he built America's first roller coaster to give New Yorkers some good, clean thrills away from the seedier pastimes.
Well.
Yeah.
Who knew that roller coasters had a purpose?
Right?
I just thought they were out to scare me. Interesting fact alert. When you're awake, your brain produces enough electricity to power a small light bulb. Your brain contains about 100 billion microscopic cells called neurons. So many, it would take you over 3,000 years to count them all. And whenever you dream, laugh, think, see, move, it's because of tiny chemical and electrical signals are racing between those neurons along billions of, tiny neuron highways. And the brain works really fast, too. It's so fast, it's speedier than the world's fastest computer. So information is going from your brain to your arms and legs. It travels at about 150 miles per hour.
I wonder if my brain can light up a bigger light bulb than yours.
Probably.
You want to have a competition? All right. While we can't count on our brains to power the world, we can count on the power to choose your electricity provider in deregulated markets. Now, deregulation brings competition. Competition drives down prices. Good thing, right? Well, electricity providers know in order to earn your business, they need to offer cheap rates. Now, those advertised rates are meant to win new customers. Many of the providers count on the fact that once you sign up and establish service, you won't bother switching providers at renewal time. And the renewal offers they're simply just not as cheap. In many cases, there are no contract details included in the renewal offer, fully outlining all the specific details of an electricity plan, including the price, the contract length, and the fees, such as the terms of service and the electricity facts label, right?
Right. So how do you know and how do you make the best decision about your electricity when it's time to renew, whether you should stay with your current provider or find somebody else? That first rule is always shop. It pays to shop around. And when you do, read the fine print of that renewal. Do some comparison shopping. You can use our savings calculator to get an idea of what kind of price you should be in. And there are some companies who automatically have their fixed price contracts renew into variable rates. So a customer who signed up originally to lock in a 9-cent rate could end up paying somewhere between 14 cents, depending on where they are.
That's no
in
bueno.
the market. No. So
bueno.
You do not want to be in a variable rate plan at all.
No question. What customers don't realize about the renewal process is that there's always some wiggle room with your provider. So call them directly and see if they will offer you a lower rate to stay competitive with other providers in the market. In many situations, switching companies is in your best interest. So just keep that in mind, contract after contract.
Right. And there's no harm in switching. It's not like you can't go back to a provider if you've gone away from them for a contract or
That's
two,
right. It's not like they're going to turn you down. They want your business.
Exactly.
As long as you pay your bills. Just saying.
Yes. So speaking of electricity, the American Public Power Association says that squirrels are the most frequent cause of power outages in the U.S. They even
varmints.
developed a data tracker called the Squirrel Index that analyzes the patterns and timing of a squirrel's impact on electrical power systems. And it turns out that the peak times of the year that squirrels attack are from May to June and then October to November. Typically, the squirrels cause problems by tunneling, chewing through electrical insulation, or becoming a current path between electrical conductors. Frankly, the number one threat to experience to date by the U.S. electrical grid is squirrels. That's what the former deputy director of the National Security Agency said.
It's their own personal highway up there, those power lines, right?
Right. Although you'd think, they've got to feel, maybe it's exciting. I don't know. Soaking it up through their little feet.
Little varmints. All right. Another interesting fact. The inventor of the internet regrets the URL setup. Tell them why.
Oh, yes. Tim Berners-Lee, who created the main software for the World Wide Web.
Yep.
He admitted he regrets one thing, adding that double backslash after the HTTPS in that web address. It was standard for programming at the time, but it doesn't serve any real purpose. And so when looking back in 2009, he said that leaving it out would have saved a lot of time and space. We're going to go and forget them, though.
Yeah, I think we'll let that go.
I think it's auto-filled in most of the time anyway, right?
It is. Yeah. It's a no-brainer. All right, another famous person. Well, he chooses a strange place to rest, okay? A portion of Frederick Bauer's ashes, that's the man who created the iconic Pringles can back in 1966, found his eternal resting place in one of those cans when he died in 2008. FYI, you want to know what can it was?
What?
Original flavor.
Oh.
I would have done sour cream and onion.
It's very interesting.
Sorry.
So, and where is this can stored with his ashes, I wonder?
It's just a portion of his ashes.
Oh.
So just I don't know where it's stored, but you know what?
Maybe
somebody can look that one up.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
All right. This next fact makes me a little uncomfortable in my seat here. Did you know that fleas are among the world's best jumpers? Fleas use their toes and shins to jump, according to researchers at the University of Cambridge, and they can spring up to 7 vertical inches, more than 800 times their height.
It gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
It's just wrong.
It is.
On many
it's
levels.
Very wrong.
Yeah.
And why were they made so strong? That just feels like a twerk. It's not necessary.
It is unnecessary. Now, more on these creepy, jumpy things. Mites. They might live in your eyelashes.
Oh.
Does that not give you the heebs? Just a little bit. All right. So as gross as it sounds, it is true. Mites really might live in those eyelashes, according to CBS News. They reported that many people have parasitic mites living in hair follicles. Now, typically, they're not that big of a deal. But now that I know of it,
You're right.
it's kind of a big deal. But they can sometimes cause some irritation. So if your eyes itch, think, oh my God, I have mites.
Oh, that's awful.
I'm just joking. No, don't stress yourself out about it. But yeah, there are bugs all over everywhere.
Yes. Here's something to be very grateful for our modern inventions. This is also a little wrong. Before toilet paper was invented, Americans, mostly out in the farms, used corn cobs. Apparently it's softer and it's got various dynamic abilities.
Do you know through personal experience?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I did read about it, which I find that odd that they know how. And
I know it.
Alternatively, also periodicals like the Farmer's Almanac were used.
Now that
And
makes sense.
The Farmer's Almanac originally came with a hole in the book so it could hang in outhouses. They knew what it was being used for. Necessity is the mother of invention, after all.
Indeed it is. All right. Now, why did we get so gross?
Yep.
Yeah, and we're going to continue on with this. A 10-year-old mattress weighs double what it did when it was new due to debris that it absorbs over time. Now, this is just gross, folks. That debris includes dust mites. Why are we back on the mites?
Because they're
theme?
flying out of our eyelashes.
That's a good point. Yeah, they're droppings and decaying bodies, mold, millions of dead skin cells, dandruff, animal and human hair. I don't even want to say this word.
Oh, yeah.
Secretions, excretions, lint, pollen, dust. Okay, you get the idea.
Right,
Sand
a lot of stuff.
and perspiration, which the average person loses at a rate of a quart a day. One of the reasons to remember to change your mattress every 8 years or 1 year.
Yeah.
I mean, mattress companies will love me, but
Right.
do you think about it? I mean, it's not like you clean your mattress.
Right. And I mean, even if you have, you're good about mattress covers and things like that, like mattress pads or, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little ill at the moment.
Right.
All right.
So finally, something a little fun.
Thank you.
To lighten us
I've got a
up.
stomach ache.
It is impossible to hum
Oh,
while
yeah.
you are holding your nose. You just tested it, didn't you? Normally, when you hum, air is able to escape through your nose to create the sound. And of course, you can't do that when you're holding it shut. It's one of the weird facts that you can go test out for yourselves. Go ahead, try it.
You're not
I'm
going to
not
try
doing
it? All right. Well, I hope
It's challenging.
we are idiots, aren't we? All right. Well, please share with us your interesting or weird facts, and just drop them in the comments section. We'd love to hear your thoughts on what's strange and weird out there, because Lord knows we just started. We just
Couple of
scratched the
different
surface.
directions to head in.
All right, that's it for this edition of Say What. Until next time, stay cool, be kind, and do great things.
It's the Ogre way.